I created G plans out of nutrition frustration. One day during nutrition studies at Duke University, we came across a revelation. We discovered that everyone has a completely unique metabolic structure and type. Eating a generic diet program will not get you the results you want, and you will continue on a path of yo-yo dieting forever. Ultimately, sustainable food programs are built within your own specific metabolic template.
I eat what Dr. G tells me to eat for my metabolic type. I don't call this program a diet because I eat more than on other programs.
All right. Hoping the audio issues are resolved now and we're good to go. Let's check that out. Okay. Let's check this out. Sorry about the issues here. Okay. Let's check this. Okay, just a minute here. Testing, testing, testing audio. Oh, we're testing audio here. Can you hear me? All right, we're testing the audio here. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. So sorry about that there. Had some audio issues. So thank you for staying patient and being with me. Sounds like we're having some, resolved. So you can hear me now. Perfect. Well, thank you for still being here. We're going to get right started into our topic today. We're going to discuss small changes that can really help you to see much better weight loss results. So I know a lot of the times we think you need to make a lot of big changes in order to see big results, but that's not the case. A lot of the times those simple changes, small habits can make the biggest difference. So that's what we'll dive into today. Just as a reminder as well, if you have any questions pop up throughout our presentation, please go ahead, add those to the chat box. And I'd love to take those at the end and have a little discussion with you. So we'll dive right in. All right. Okay, so thank you for being patient with me today. We got a lot going on. I do work from home. That's my dogs in the background. So focusing on our presentation here, we're going to be discussing today again small changes that will help you to see better weight loss results. All right, so this is our overview for today, what we're going to cover. First off, we're going to discuss more on how small changes can really lead to big results. We're going to discuss, of course, eating consistently, how important that is for progress. Next, we're going to discuss a little more on maybe what other sneaky habits could be affecting your progress. Small things you might not notice. We're going to discuss increasing your activity, some rest and self-care and the importance of that. And then we'll close out with our tip of the week. And lastly, we have a great special promotion this week that we'll cover at the end as well. All right, and so just as a reminder, if you have anything maybe a little more personal, you don't want to add it to the chat box, please feel free to send me an email. My email is there on the screen. It's my first and last name at gplans.com. We'll also add that in the chat box for you today as well. All right, so small changes for big results. When it comes to a successful weight loss plan, some of the most effective tips can be the most simplest to implement. There are so many fad diets, products, trends everywhere that you look, and this can make us believe that maybe sometimes the best results come by making more drastic changes. In reality, those small incremental changes in your day-to-day habits can help you to see big changes. And focusing on taking those small steps will help you to build a routine that is sustainable for you. And that's going to help you to keep your weight off that you lost long-term as well. Today we're going to discuss some small changes that you can make that can help to boost your progress in a big way. Remember, it is also important to start slowly. So maybe try implementing one or two of the changes we'll discuss today at a time into your routine. Set those small goals with the small changes as well. It's all about sustainability. So find what works for you, start small, and we can build from there. All right, so eating consistently, so key for progress. First off, make sure you are fueling your body in the morning. So ideally, you're going to have your breakfast within about an hour of waking up in the morning. Many people tend to be in the habit of skipping breakfast, and that's for a variety of reasons. It could be maybe because they're trying out fasting, maybe you're busy in the morning, lots of reasons. But consuming a balanced breakfast with adequate protein is essential to kickstart your metabolism and ensure that you start your day with energy. Skipping breakfast can also lead to increased cravings or overeating later in the day. So you might even find maybe right now you're not very hungry in the morning. That can be very normal. If you haven't gotten into a good routine of eating breakfast every day, you might not have those hunger cues at that time. Start small. Try to have that meal within about an hour of waking, and typically you might find after a few weeks of staying consistent with your breakfast, you might notice that you're a little more hungry in the morning as well. With that being said, don't skip meals or snacks as well. When you do skip meals or snacks, this can cause your metabolism to slow down over time and also contribute to disordered eating and hormonal imbalances. Eating consistently is key to successful weight loss and the ability to maintain your weight long term. So make sure you're staying on track. Again, ideally, we want to have our breakfast within about an hour of waking up, and we want to shoot for about 3 to 4 hours between our meals and snacks throughout the day. And with that, you also want to make sure that you're still giving yourself a bit of flexibility from time to time as well. While it is so important to stick to your plan, it's also key to allow yourself some flexibility from time to time also. When we label certain foods as good foods or bad foods, this can in a way set us up for failure and create a sense of us feeling deprived. Know that there are no good or bad foods. Certain foods may be more nutrient dense than others, and therefore best to prioritize in your diet. However, allowing yourself some flexibility on your plan to enjoy other foods will help you to stay satisfied and help you to stay on track with your plan as well. So here at G Plans, we do say definitely take one meal a week, have an off-plan meal, and then here and there having something that's a little bit off your plan, it's not going to affect your progress, and that's really going to help you stay on track with your goals. So, tell me a little more. What sneaky habits may be affecting your progress? Very often, again, it's those small habits that can both either help us to succeed, or maybe a small habit can actually also throw us off track. A few other small habits to look for. Number one is if you're consuming a lot of sweetened drinks. This could be like lattes, like coffee. This could also be sodas, even juices, things like that. And we do actually also want to keep an eye out and limit how many drinks you may be consuming with artificial sweeteners. So, of course, water is best. Water is key. So start to focus on reducing those sugary drinks, those artificially sweetened drinks, and boost up your water intake. That can help your progress a lot. Next up too is ensure that you are accurately measuring portion sizes. So this is a big one. We may feel like we are sticking to our plan, but over time you might find kind of not measuring things out the same. You're kind of eyeballing portions more and more. And while on occasion eyeballing portion sizes is perfectly fine, we do want to make sure if you're following your plan, you're getting as close to those portions on your plan as possible. So keep an eye there. Use a food scale if you can. Use a cup to measure, tablespoon, things like that as well. And lastly, also make sure you're sticking to a routine for your meal prep. So of course, that's another thing, a sneaky habit that can throw us off. If we don't have a good routine to kind of plan for the week, maybe prep any meals, you'll find yourself starting your week without anything in place. And that is definitely not great for progress. So set a time, set a routine for prepping for your week as well. And share with me in the chat box. So tell me, what habits maybe do you specifically focus on that you find help you to see better results? Please share with me in the chat box. I'd love to take some of those at the end of our presentation here. All right. So next up is increase your activity. So not only exercise as a whole, this is activity. So first off, if you're new, if you're starting out an exercise routine, start small. Remember to start where you are. A lot of the times if you start a routine, maybe you're not exercising currently, and maybe the next week you shoot for 5 days a week. When you set a goal that's a little too big initially, you might find yourself struggling to meet that, and it kind of sets you up for failure in a sense. So start small, start where you are. Adding a 30-minute walk into your routine, maybe a few days a week, is a great place to start, and this is definitely going to help to boost your progress. Now next is, after you've started small, make sure you are still progressing your routine. As you adapt to your current routine and you find things to get a little bit easier, remember to add progressions as you are able. For example, you can increase the amount of days that you walk. If you had 3 days a week you were walking for 30 minutes, go ahead and make that 5. You can increase the time that you're walking. Keep that on the 3 days a week. Maybe shoot for 45 minutes each time. Or you could also add things like a speed or incline intervals. One great way to do that is if you're walking around a neighborhood, go ahead and walk a couple of mailbox distances at a really fast pace, and then kind of slow down for the next couple mailboxes. Adding progressions like this will help you to see continued results moving forward. And last, so again, aside from just exercise, consider boosting your activity level throughout your day. In addition to building that exercise routine, it's so important to also consider your daily activity and movement. If you do work a desk job, try taking a short walk on your lunch break, or maybe stretching every few hours. These small changes can really make a big impact. So again, if you have a fitness tracker, a watch that you use, that's a great way to do that, to monitor your activity and movement throughout the day, aside from just exercise as well. Okay, so next up is rest and self-care. It's one that we know sleep, we know rest is so important, but sometimes we may neglect that and not realize how truly important it is for weight loss as a whole as well. So make sure you're prioritizing your sleep quality. A lack of sleep can lead to elevated cortisol levels and inflammation, which can make weight loss more difficult. Elevated cortisol levels can cause blood sugar fluctuations and increase food cravings during the day as well. So focus on establishing a consistent bedtime, evening routine, and prioritize your sleep quality for better weight loss results. So kind of in the same topic, make sure you're also incorporating self-care. So cortisol levels can be elevated due to a lack of sleep, maybe skipping meals again, or even just the stress of a busy day. Make sure you're keeping cortisol levels in check by regularly incorporating self-care time to unwind and relax. And now, I know schedules may be busy. Maybe might not find time to do this every day, but even a couple days a week, having this time to slow down and relax, or even just taking a couple of minutes to kind of close your eyes, take some deep breaths, can really help to lower these stress hormones. And again, some other examples could look like maybe taking a walk, sipping a cup of tea, taking a yoga class, or maybe on occasion getting a massage as well. It's a great way to lower cortisol levels. Next is make sure you have a as positive as you can be mindset. So change your mindset. Remind yourself of your why. Why did you get started? Why is this your goal? In any journey, there will come slip-ups. It's gonna happen. It's so important to continue to remind yourself why you started your journey in the first place. Know that life will happen. It's going to happen, and it's all about learning from any setbacks that may come your way and getting right back on track from there. Also, be proud of those small victories along your journey. So another thing too is we can get so wrapped up in kind of meeting that end goal that we're not noticing those small wins, the progress that we're making, and being proud of that along the way. So change your mindset, stay positive, focus on what you can change, what you can learn from any setbacks, and just move forward from there. All right, so we've reached my tip of the week here today, and today's tip is hold yourself accountable. So many ways to hold your to be accountable to your goals. You can use, of course, maybe a friend, maybe a social networking group, maybe a health coach. But there's a few ways you can hold yourself accountable to your goals as well. First off, set alarms. Alarms are so useful. When setting any goal, it's important to find some ways to hold yourself accountable as you get started. Of course, after a little while, that will become a routine. It's going to be a little easier to stay on track. But try setting an alarm to remind yourself to exercise, maybe prep your meals, get ready for bed at a certain time, or working with clients, I suggest all the time setting alarms, again, about every 3 to 4 hours throughout the day, to remind yourself to eat at those regular intervals. Also utilize visual reminders. So that's another great tool. Visual reminders are another great way to keep you reminded of your goal. So maybe try putting a photo that's meaningful to you, a quote that means something to you as well, in a visible area, or as your phone background that you see often. This is going to help to remind you of your why. It's going to help to drive you and keep you motivated and accountable towards your goal. So use those alarms, use visual reminders. This is an excellent way to hold yourself accountable. All right, so very last thing I have for you today is our special promotion this week. So we do still have our new referral program going right now. This is an excellent promo. You definitely want to check out your emails after this presentation today with a bit more information on this. Essentially, you're going to receive $40 cash for each referral that you send in. So that again, that is cash straight to you. We do have additional bonuses as well going. So if you go ahead and send in 3 referrals, you will receive another $100 bonus on top of that. So definitely check out your emails, look for the new referral program, and get started on that. This does bring me to the end of today's presentation. So if you have any other last questions, anything else you'd like to add in the chat box there, please go ahead and do that now. All right, so I see Scott here says, I know sit-ups and crunches are 2 exercises for helping to lose some around the gut. but I don't have enough cushion for hard floors. Hey, that I get that, and that does not feel too comfortable. Scott, I would definitely suggest if you do not have an exercise mat at home, definitely invest in one of those, Amazon, or even somewhere if you have like a TJ Maxx, something like that, even a Walmart near you. An exercise mat is going to help you out tremendously with that. All right. And Scott also said, I have a sleep routine, but I'm having a hard time with emotional eating. Absolutely. So, a couple things we did discuss today. First off, it's excellent that you do have a good, consistent sleep routine, because when you don't get enough sleep, it's been shown that you will tend to have more cravings or likely eat more throughout the day as well. So first and foremost, that's great. You're focusing on that. Ensure as well, try to stay very regimented in those regular intervals that you're eating. Make sure you're eating very consistently, because again, if you're skipping meals or going longer periods without eating, that can also promote some of those cravings as well. So really focus, like we said, maybe set those alarms, get really focused on eating consistently as well. All right. Yeah, and making great changes there too, Scott. I see you also said cutting down on sugar and salt. That's excellent. So a lot of great changes you are making. Let's see here. All right, try to take a few more questions here. Okay. All right. I see someone else here said got rid of sugary drinks, alcohol, walking around the neighborhood. That is amazing. So some great steps to take, like we did discuss today. Sugary drinks, alcohol as well. That's a really, you can add a lot of empty calories and things like that. So cutting that out, swapping it for water is an excellent way to really boost your progress. And walking's amazing. So whether you are new to exercise or not, maybe you already have a current routine, adding on a little bit more walking throughout your week is a great way, again, to kind of boost the progress a little more. All right. Let's see. All right. That's about all the questions I see here. I do see, welcome Tracy. I see it's the first time you've been on today. I'm glad to see you here. And you're welcome for the tips, Scott. Hope that helps. Well, thank you so much for joining me today for another nutrition masterclass. Again, do feel free. So if you have some other questions for me or anything that's a little more personal, please feel free. You can go ahead and send me an email. My email's still in the chat box there for you. So feel free to do that. And I hope you'll join me next week. Of course, every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm live with another nutrition masterclass. So we have a new topic, new discussion each week. So I hope to see you each week moving forward. And make sure as well you do check out your email today for a little more information on that referral program I mentioned also. So have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a great rest of the week. And I hope to see you next Wednesday for another masterclass.